everyone, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. I felt the call to actually do this reading for you. I had to stop. I was working on some personal birth charts here, and I just felt the need to shuffle some cards and create the reading for you. But then when I sat down to actually record the reading, it's just the energy is full of bursts of energy and then it just petters out. This is the third time that I tried to record this reading and I'm already starting to feel exhausted, but I'm determined to push through because I have the feeling a lot of you really need to hear these messages. I feel that the current Jupiter in Capricorn conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn, both planets are at 22 degrees. So we have 22 on one side, 22 on the other, together making the lovely number 2222 or 2222. Is really shifting our energies, but this is all happening very slowly, almost like painfully slowly. It's shifting our awareness, it's rewiring our circuits. A lot of us are plunged straight into inner child memories or childhood recollections. And a lot of us as well are kind of pruning through their social circle, figuring out whom to keep in their life and whom to let go, because either you've been awakening and ascending and your energy is completely different than that of your friends in the past, and you're figuring out that as you're ascending, you're gonna drop some people to the side, or there is so much toxicity and so much fear out there being dumped on you at the moment that, you know, you can only take so much. You have to separate yourself from people that have been messing with your vibe. It's not only Jupiter in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn that is affecting us at the moment. Of course, Capricorn at its best is the energy of responsibility, commitment, things that last in time, effort that leads to tangible results, money making, holding your feelings in because you have to undertake a great feast of discipline and effort. So you need all of your concentration on one area of life. However, the shadow side of Capricorn is low empathy and cruelty. That kind of stoicism that Capricorns are famous for can come across as bluntness, triteness, especially when all of this Capricorn energy is amped up at the moment by Pluto, which is about domination games, and it's being collectively spread by Jupiter, which is a lot about, you know, spreading collective fear. Not only that, but we have the South Node in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the energy of friendship, freedom, travel, optimism, faith, expansion, and growth. But we are all seeing all of these various elements that represent Sagittarius being shut off or shunted, or there are such limits to our personal freedoms at the moment and to the people that we are able to make friends with, right? Not only that, but the current tense political and economic and social situation is making us reconsider our alliances. So who have we been sharing our energy with? Is that person negative? Is that person wanting to dump their projections on me? Should I be mindful? You know, do I have the fear that I don't live up to all of the things that my other friends have acquired? If you are, for example, without a family, or if you are without a job, there will be more pressures at the moment on you trying to live up to a certain public image and trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say, right? So our friendships are being tested at the moment. The purity of our connections are being tested. And a lot of us find that with the South Node there, we need to let go of a lot of these friendships, which to a large extent are also our karmic connections that we are currently completing with all of this energy in Capricorn. So on this background, I really felt inspired to create a PickACard reading that is about what's up with your friendship. This is because I've received a lot of messages from you on Instagram. Feel free to follow me at ms.bontemps. But not only that, also in my personal readings, there came out this theme of, should I hold on to this person or should I let them go? Is this person a karmic or a dharmic connection in my life? So I just thought of, you know, because I know that not a lot of you can afford personal readings, this is for you, my loves. Hopefully it can bring some clarity in your personal friendships at the moment. So another thing that I wanted to say is thank you so much for everyone who has placed an order with me in the last days. In the month of November, I'm going to give 50% of all the money I am making from your orders and your donations to a charity that is very dear to my heart, SOS Children's Villages Romania. I actually got to work for them 2 summers in a row in 2007 and 2008. So I was on the ground with them, seeing how well they protect children, hearing fantastic stories of resilience. I absolutely love them, and I have been supporting them with small sums for a year now, but now I want to make bigger donations because winter is coming, and the thought that children right now have to make choices between whether they should have access to medicine and clean soap or a warm meal is heartbreaking in a way. By placing an order with me this month, you are acting as the guardian angel of a poor child in Romania. And so feel free if you're interested. You know, I have all of my details down in the description box below. I just wanted to let you guys know how I'm using some of the money that you are sending my way. The other half actually goes into buying food for Luna. So here are the choices that I have for you today. For group 1, you have here a pink tiger. For group 2, you have a blue puma. And for group 3, you have a lime cheetah. Yeah. For those of you that like to make a choice based on seeing all of them, here they are. So the tiger, the puma, and the cheetah. Okay, if you've made your choice, then I'm going to dive right through to pile number 1. So hello, group 1. This is for those of you that have chosen the pink tiger. So let's find out what's up in your friendship, what's up in your connection. Keep in mind this can apply to whether you are very good friends with a woman or a man. Gender is, you know, energy is not connected to gender necessarily, but I do know that our relationships are influenced by gender. So let's see. I pre-shuffled your cards. I want to have a clear view of them before I actually show them to you. Okay. So, mostly because the energy tonight is a little bit whacked, okay? So, we have here the 8 of Swords. Somebody has been feeling left out. I feel that there was an argument between you and your friend. The Tower. Not an argument, but a fallout, quite a massive fallout, one that produced a lot of changes around you, both in your life and in your friend's life. Justice. I feel like somebody was feeling like the situation was unfair, either to you or to them, but there was a measure here that the give and take in your connection was not equal, it was not balanced. Things were just not vibing well with the two of you. They were not on an equal footing. There might have been some domination fears or domination concerns. Are you trying to control me? Am I controlling you too much? Some things that were kept away, and then they just came up. Whatever you guys repressed in your connection, it just blurted out all of a sudden, and it produced a Tower moment. So these are your tarot cards. I feel that your energy is... You're both suffering at the moment after this fallout. You're both finding it difficult to move on and to let go of your connection. This could have been with a friend that you've known for a very long time, a person that maybe you went to college with or you've known since childhood, a person that somehow was vulnerable with you, created a sense of emotional stability with you for a long period of time. But then I feel that because you guys were so close, you started hiding things from each other, or you stopped being so honest with one another. You went more towards the let's be polite. The Justice card represents Libra, and Libra energy at its lowest is when you are trying to fall into the position of a sycophant. You want to maintain the peace in a connection at all costs, and when there comes a time that you have to be honest or you have to express some tough love to your friend, I feel like one of you held back and did not speak their truth. They did not speak their mind because You wanted to maintain a peaceful connection with the two of you. Maybe you wanted to criticize the other person. Maybe you wanted to let them know something that was working against them, but you did not say that. And in time, I feel like there were many moments like this, many small moments like this that add up. They added up, and it led to a big fallout. It led to an explosion. Because whatever you repress tends to be unused psychic energy that will blurt out in the most embarrassing way possible, in the most surprising or spontaneous way. And you're thinking, where does this come from? Well, it comes from all those moments when, instead of talking about your feelings or unleashing them in small moments, you guys just gathered up those feelings, and it's kind of like the psychic container was filled with so many emotions to the brim that it exploded in the end. I'm kind of thinking of that scene in Ghostbusters when they placed all of the ghosts inside the container, and then they're being ordered by the environmentalist to open the container, and it just explodes and all of the phantoms erupt into the city, creating havoc and mayhem, right? It's very similar to that scene. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Ghostbusters Unleashing Ghosts. I'm sure you're going to find it. So there is a sense that right now, justice has been reinstated in your connection. Believe it or not, this moment of extreme like explosion or maybe violence or maybe spontaneous blurting out of feelings, I feel like you might have called each other names. There were some reckless actions that were being taken. Somebody drove to somebody's house. Somebody maybe threw something through the glass. I'm getting glass shards, things breaking. Maybe you broke an object that your friend held very dearly, and that started off it opened Pandora's box. So I think that this moment, believe it or not, as painful as it was for both of you, it helped to reinstate the balance of the energy between the two of you. It happened for you, not against you, right? And let me show you the oracle cards that I have, because once we've identified the issue, I want to see how we can bring light into this connection. So we have here Canary, and the message is, step forward now and sing your song. There is power in finding your voice. So I feel like this lesson is teaching both of you to stop creating illusions, stop hiding behind polite words. I feel this experience was deeply meaningful to both of you to understand that if you want peace at all costs and you neglect the truth, ultimately you're going to have the reverse of peace. You're going to have a war. You're going to have a moment of explosion. Feelings are meant to be dealt with. Feelings are popping up in our lives to show us where imbalances, energetic imbalances are happening. You feel anger, for example, at one point because somebody disrespected your self-worth or crossed a boundary that they were not supposed to cross. If you hold that anger in and you don't let the other person know, hey, alarm, I don't want to be treated like that. You crossed my boundary. If you hold that in, then that person is going to continue to repeat that same behavior without learning anything. And then you will have a tower moment, a moment where everything that you guys have repressed is blurting out. It's going to come out because energy kind of needs to flow. It needs to move. So it wants to come out no matter what. That's why in a lot of situations, the truth always comes out, It's very hard to repress something and to hold it down. So you're no longer blind to what is that you both are feeling for each other or what it is that you both are genuinely thinking about one another. So this situation, using your voice, finally helped you step into this courageous act of speaking your truth, of telling that person what it is you feel. And if you haven't already, you will. Okay? This is why things might be weird between you and your friend, because there's a lot of pent-up feeling, a lot of build-up resentments over petty little things. Maybe they don't like how you chew. Maybe they don't like how you are so wasteful with your gas money. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Maybe they don't like that you're very messy, or that you never ask them how they are when they constantly check in with your feelings. There could be various things. Maybe you took a pullover that they really liked and you never gave it back. Yeah, it could be many, many different things. But the important thing is to understand that in order to bring peace and a fresh new wave of energy in this connection, you need to be very honest about what it is you think and feel about this person. That is the only way in which your connection can generally move forward, if indeed you want to keep this person in your life. We also have here daffodil, narcissist. So we have here rebirth and new beginnings. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings, Lao Tzu. What was I saying earlier? The tower moment, the shock, the, oh my God, I can't believe we're having this huge argument. I can't believe you're doing this. It was meant to be so that you guys bring a fresh infusion of energy into your connection. There could have been some issues here where one person was slightly narcissistic. They might have had narcissistic tendencies. They tried to control you, to dominate you. And now you are being freed from this connection. Maybe it was the classic empath narcissist dynamic and you weren't aware of the fact that you were overgiving to this person that genuinely only established their sense of self-worth through manipulating you into doing their bidding without ever giving you something nourishing in return. Does that make sense? So for some of you, I think like 25% of those of you that might actually stumble upon this reading at a specific time when you're supposed to hear this message could have been in a narcissist situation. Your friend might have been a covert narcissist and you weren't aware of it. And this tower moment brought the situation home. So now you have a fresh new awareness. You're no longer left in the dark. And even though you might still feel reverberating, that's the word I wanted to say. I want to say responsible. Some of you could be feeling responsible. Don't. Don't blame yourself. You're still reverberating from the shock of that moment. For some of you, that might have been a really shocking moment. You're still feeling vulnerable. You're still feeling like you want to cozy up and protect yourself, hide into your shell. Do so. If you feel the need for extra rest, do so. But for the time being, I see that it's better if you just let sleeping dogs lie and you allow the energy to shift between the two of you. And if this is a connection with a narcissistic person, please don't go back to them. Please just ignore them for the longest time possible until you find the strength to genuinely have a conversation with them, but further down the line, not now. Because there is the tendency here to fall back into this. That person might manipulate you or charm you into doing their bidding again, and you'll feel shortchanged and depleted of energy, and you'll just go back to square one with them. So allow time to pass. Time is your friend at the moment. Yeah, it heals you and it allows the energy to shift in your friendship. We also have here trust and niggle. So yeah, follow your intuition. You have been neglecting your intuition, or maybe you don't know how to come in touch with your intuition. Maybe you're finding it difficult to allow your intuition and your emotions to guide you in life. North Node in Pisces for a lot of you that chose this group. So you're afraid of feelings, or you're uncomfortable with them. You like to plan and control, and you like to think that people are better than they actually are, or that they can become better. Take people at face value. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Trust your intuition. If you're feeling weird in your belly, if you're feeling that this person said one thing, but then the next day they completely denied that, but then in front of other people they're saying one thing, but in front of you they're saying something completely different. This is not a person that is in their center. This is not a person that is reflective and integrating their life lesson. Okay, so be mindful of that. We also have here Spider Woman. This is such a deeply spiritual karmic lesson that you're learning at the moment through the help of your friend. So even though it might be painful, even though your friend could be a covert narcissist, you are still learning so much from this connection. You guys could be having this trifecta of Capricorn energy in the 3rd house or in the 9th house. These are the houses that are concerned with higher belief, friendships, and the connections with the people in our local environment or in our international connections, international long distance relationships. I see these things being strongly represented in your energy at the moment. And we have here universal connection with the Spider Woman. You don't have to have a physical connection with your friend to love them. You can love them from afar. If you find it very hard to let go of this person, and yet this person keeps hurting you, keeps lying to you, keeps taking things away from you, and they want to dominate you and tell you what to do and manipulate your reactions, give them light and send them on their way, just like the Spider Woman is doing here. She's acknowledging that our souls are all interconnected. She's very wise, and she knows that whatever difficulty you are experiencing in your friendship at the moment is happening for your own soul growth, even if your ego is suffering. But that doesn't mean that you need to keep this connection in your life. For a lot of you, I see that those who chose pile 1, you are being strongly advised to let go of this friendship. Do not keep this person in your life. Whatever happened between the two of you, whatever produced this tower moment, was a deep awakening. It was almost like the universe was saying, wake up, wake up. You've been neglecting this. Mostly because you haven't been trusting the niggle. And now the niggle made itself pop up like a massive knock on the door, an Amazon delivery niggle, right? So your souls are connected. Don't worry. You might even see each other in another lifetime, or you know each other from a previous lifetime. Allow Spirit to complete the energy in this connection. I see that all you need to do is rest and move on. And the final card that I have for you is Soul Writing. So I think that this is a lot about you coming to terms with this connection and getting in touch with your feelings by writing about what has happened. Write, maybe open a folder on your computer and just pour your heart out. Write everything that you remember, the good parts, the not so good parts in your connection, the moments of extreme joy, the moments when you were vulnerable with this person, the moments when this person disappointed you. Write the story of your friendship. I think this is going to be deeply healing and deeply inspiring. And then when you have completed that document, either throw it in the bin, the online one, or print out the letter and burn it, or crumple it and throw it away, or bury it in the ground. You can even let it, you can even water it. It doesn't matter in which element you would do it. I would do it according to the element of your moon sign. So if you have a moon in Sagittarius, burn the letter. If you have a moon in Cancer, drown the letter. If you have a moon in Taurus, crumple the paper and throw it into the ground. Yeah, things like that. And if you have, a moon in air, this is excellent because you can just write it online and then put it in the desktop trash bin. Yeah. I think this will give you closure. It will give you completion. I'm really sorry, but I don't see this connection moving forward. I see that this connection completed with the current Saturn and Capricorn transit. This was a person that appeared in your life as part of your karma, and now that Saturn is slowly moving away into Aquarius, I wanted to say Sagittarius. Oh, a lot of you might have met this person when Saturn was in Sagittarius, and I think a lot of you had your Saturn returns then, and now you're asked to let go of this person, because that person served their purpose in your life, and now you need to make space for someone new to come in. And I have a feeling that when Saturn goes into Aquarius, and I am tripping over my words, you might very self-consciously enter a new group of individuals that will be very beneficial for the new foundation you are building in your life at the moment. That's what I had for you, Group 1. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. I'm sending you so much love and light. Bye. Hey Group 2, this is for those of you that were drawn to the blue Puma. So let's find out what's up in your friendship. Keep in mind, as I said for pile number 1, that this can apply to whether your friend is a man or a woman. So let's see. I want to see first your cards to get a full overview, and then I will show them to you one by one as I interpret them. Some of you are feeling a little bit overlooked in your connection, like you would like to have more fun with your friends, but it's almost like your friends are not contacting you, they're not talking to you like they used to in the past. I feel one friend in particular is the one that you're vying for the attention of that person, but they're just feeling emotionally distant. So we have here the Queen of Cups, and this is a sense that, sorry, it's the King of Cups, not the Queen of Cups. The Ceccoli Tarot is one of the most difficult to interpret because you really need to know the symbols. So we have the King of Cups, and there is a sense here that this is a person that's been very close to you, close to your heart, a person that potentially some of you grew up with. You found them to be almost like a light worker, a person that brought a lot of sunlight into your life, metaphorically speaking, but like just a bright joy in your life. And I feel like at the moment you guys are separated, potentially due to COVID, or maybe your friend had to relocate to study or live and work in another country. And I feel like if this is not about a physical separation, this is deeply speaking to me about an emotional separation. So you guys were very close and all of a sudden you drifted away. But, you know, there has been some research done on friendships, some academic research that shows that there is a natural span of 7 years, that it happens once every 7 years, let's say, when friends that have been very close once tend to drift apart. And then if the connection was genuinely meaningful to both of you, you tend to reconnect. So it's kind of like the equivalent of the 7-year itch. But instead of applying it to marriages, this is applied to friendships, right? So it could be that you guys are at the end of that cycle and you had to drift apart. Psychologically speaking, you might have felt the need to connect emotionally to other people, other friends in your life, but you still hold this person deeply in your heart. They are very meaningful to you. I feel like maybe you had very compatible moon signs. So let's say you both were moon in Leos, or you both were moon in Virgos, or you were moon in Virgo, moon in Cancer, moon in Capricorn, moon in Taurus, moon in Gemini, moon in Libra, you know. So you had a lot of things in common. You knew how to relax together. You kind of laughed at the same things. You love to watch movies together, or you just like to chill out in the same kind of way, and you're missing those moments with your friend. And I feel like a lot of you are trying to find a lot of wisdom in this separation at the moment. So you're very wise, you're very caring, very reflective people. And I feel like you're trying to give this separation a new meaning. You're trying to put some rosy colored glasses on the situation to try to see it from a loftier perspective, a higher perspective, than to get bogged down in petty squabbles or gossiping about this lost connection to someone else, or complaining or acting out of character. I think that you guys who chose group 2 are quite emotionally contained, and in this connection I feel like you are listening to your intuition, and you find that it is not the time to react or to show your feelings. It's quite the opposite of group 1, where they had some sort of emotional detonation that pushed them forward in their connection. But with you, it's more about actually applying reason and logic and analyzing the situation for what it was, now that a cycle has been completed. So that's kind of what I'm hearing. So I don't feel like you need to let go of this person, but I feel like naturally the energy between the two of you is going to change, and you need this emotional separation at the moment because both of you are growing in other areas of life that are not compatible with your friendship. One of you could be working on building her own family or his own family, and the other one could be more into their research or into their business, or into their earning an income independently for the first time. Take it as you see fit, these roles, as they apply to your situation. But I see that one of you has a distinct understanding of life that is no longer so compatible with the other one's opinion of life and what life should be, and what are the values that you guys are independently pursuing at the moment. And maybe this is why you kind of drifted apart slowly. But it wasn't like a big showdown. You didn't actually have conversation about it necessarily. It just so happened, you know, some missed calls here and there, forgetting to reply to an email. Maybe you guys went from talking to each other every day to just liking your Instagram photos from time to time, or maybe dropping a nice emoji and a cute congratulations or oh wow, but without getting too deeply into, hey, we kind of drifted apart. Do you feel it too? Because I think that a part of you feels that if you have this conversation with your friend is going to say the same. So if you tell your friend, hey, I think like we've been emotionally very distant lately, I feel like we're growing apart, your friend might actually say, yeah, I think so too. And then the inevitable outcome would be, maybe we should stop talking to each other for a while, or maybe we can come back again later on in our connection. But all in all, I see that this is it's not a heavy situation, it's a fortunate event. I had one of these situations happen to me last year with a person I consider my best friend. But it just so happened that in that case, I was pursuing my own independent goals and she was building her own family in a completely different country. So it just so happened that our energies were no longer blended. But that doesn't mean that I don't care about her and think of her with a lot of love and respect. And I think that this is exactly what's happening in your connection as well. That's why I decided to share my experience, not to overtake your experience in any way, but to kind of share something that I feel is deeply meaningful to you in this connection as well. So let's see the cards, the oracle cards that you got now. Now that we've identified the issue, I want to see what the oracle cards have to say. So you got Cardinal. This was a card, I remember when I was shuffling these cards, it flipped right back in the deck. So this is something you're not supposed to know, or this is a secret. And it says here, stand tall and proud. See the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. So I feel like this connection has been kind of removed from your life energetically through Spirit's guidance, because you're supposed to focus on how you are meant to lead other people, how you're meant to heal others, how you're meant to inspire others. So you need to concentrate all of your energy into guiding the collective at the moment. Or if it's not the general collective, maybe a small group of people that are becoming your responsibility. Take it as it applies. Speaking about a small group of people that are becoming your responsibility, Luna made an appearance. So there you go. She just blessed your reading. And it's interesting because one of the other cards I have for you is Bast, which is the energy of the cat god. In a second, I'll talk about that. But this one is about what's being kept away from you is the acknowledgement that you've got nothing to be ashamed or sad about in this situation. Spirit has removed this connection from your life temporarily, it's kind of what I'm hearing. I don't know why, but I have this vision that you guys are going to meet for cocktails later down the line, and you're going to celebrate everything you guys have been achieving on your own during this emotional distancing. But at the moment, you need to lead a group of people that are in your responsibility, either your family, the family you're creating at the moment that need you 100%, or at work, you might need to lead a team, or in your profession, you might need to send out messages for the vast collective. You could be a tarot reader, you could be a healer, you could be a doctor, I don't know, maybe some of you could work in immigration or migration services. You just need to do something right now that the vast collective needs more urgently than your friend. Right? Does it make sense? So this is why Spirit stepped in and cleared the plate. And yeah, let's talk about Bast, pleasure. So you saw Luna, she came in, right? There is something here that tells me that at the moment in your life, you would benefit from the friendship of a pet. As weird as this may seem, but I feel that if you are feeling at the moment a hole in your heart, or you're feeling a little bit like, I really miss my friend, why are we so separate? Why do I feel this emotional frosting between the two of us? Please get a pet. You also have here a fish, right? You can get a goldfish, you can get a cat, you can get a dog, you can get a guinea pig. Something small that requires your love, your attention, and your everyday focus. I feel that you would benefit from this. I feel that you will extract a lot of pleasure from your connection with your pet, and it would help you give to yourself that emotional nurturing that at the moment is being put on hold because because of this distancing from your friend. I wouldn't call it a separation. It's just more like, yeah, the channels are a bit blocked. The communication between the two of you is a bit blocked because you're each meant to do something important in other areas of life at the moment. You could be working on a business, they could be raising their child, for example, or vice versa. And we have here Violet, faithfulness and modesty. So what this card tells me with the quote, modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. I feel that at the moment, if you have no people around you, if your friends have been somehow removed from you and you can't go out to party, you are feeling a little bit like you're stuck in the house just with yourself and your thoughts, this humbling state of mind in which spirit has decided to place you is working out for your benefit. As I said, a lot of you need to channel your energy to help other people. So you need to rest a lot, or you need to have a daily self-discipline regime that replenishes your energy so you can have energy to write, to speak, to communicate, to inspire others, to gas others up, to prep them for whatever job they need to do, or to help quiet their fears, to help calm their anxieties. That requires a lot of energy and focus. So you need to do this important work at the moment. Adopt a humble and modest attitude at the moment, and do not be sad if you don't have contact with your friends. This pruning of your social circus, see, a really interesting lisp, right? So this pruning of your social circle had to happen because it became a circus. There were dramatic moments involved. There were people vying too much for your attention. There were things being kept away from you. It was some sort of drama in the background. And I feel like Spirit right now just cleared the table for you, almost like removing all the chess pieces from a very messy chess game. And it's calm and quiet. And you might think, where are my friends? Well, you don't need them right now. You need yourself for yourself. You need to adopt a humble lifestyle. I'm hearing minimalism, purism. You need to spend a lot of time resting, sleeping, processing your emotions, processing wounds from the past in terms of your parental situation. And as you're doing so, you're shifting your vibration. You're becoming somebody more emotionally mature, more skilled, and you're also becoming slightly psychic, more sensitive, more intuitive. This will attract a group of people towards you that you haven't seen before. You haven't had contact with these kind of individuals. Maybe a lot of empaths, maybe a lot of starseed, light workers, very unique individuals. And I feel that when Jupiter hits Aquarius in December, starting from December for 1 year, you are going to gradually meet these people along the way, and you'll be surprised at how different your relationship to them is than to your friend. There will be a sense of magic, of synchronicity, of, oh my God, you are exactly in the moment where, I never expected you to be, or wow, there was this massive synchronicity when I met so-and-so. And you will feel this almost like a soulmate connections, but not romantic ones, but you'll feel this with the new people that are coming in your lives to help you and to become your friends. Yeah, hope it makes sense. We also have here inner temple, devotion, tuning into the portal of your heart. So as I was saying, you need to take care of yourself. You need to rest. You need to remove toxins from your body. If you were struggling with addictions, you need to combat that to the best of your abilities. Work with counselors, work with a team of experts if you can at the moment. But as I said, your friendships are being put on the back burner. Some of them are on hold, others have been released from your life. And even though you might be feeling quite alone in this period, you just keep in mind you are never alone. It is just the phase of solitude that is meant to help you connect with yourself, because I have the feeling that group 2, you guys tend to distract yourself from your own inner issues. And I feel you have some things to solve with your parents or with figures in authority at work. You've been neglecting those, and you've been wanting to distract your attention with your friends. Not this year. So from the moment when you watch this reading, because it's timeless, I feel like you are in a 1-year period where you are just meant to focus on yourself, to work on your health, to improve yourself to the best of your capacity, and then to come out into the world, and you will find that you will attract a very distinct group of individuals, very unique than all the friends you had in the past. And there is the promise here of a reconciliation with your friend further along down the line. But be patient. At the moment, it's not the time. The energy needs to shift. It needs to cleanse. It needs to become something completely different than it was. You won't be the same. You won't have the same connection as in the past. That I know for sure. And there is still hope, because I don't see like a cutting off of the karmic tie. I feel like you and this person are still emotionally corded to each other. It's just that, and I kind of got, whoa, my mouth went water all of a sudden. It's just that when you talk to this person, and your relationship with this person needs to become more sensitive. It needs to become more emotionalized. Maybe you guys had great banter. Maybe you were really sarcastic together. Maybe you were indulging in some things like low energy gossiping and like, I don't know, chasing cheap pleasures in the past. When you come back, you're going to speak to each other from a much more nurturing place. It's going to be on a higher level. You'll feel it. It's going to feel more spiritual, more emotionally attuned. It will feel yummier than what it was in the past. Even if in the past was good, but it was much more from a rational, kind of detached, sarcastic perspective for some of you. The final card that I have for you, group 2. So we have here soul love, number 33. The ascended masters are with you. You are meant to work on something that has to deal with mass communication at the moment. 33 is the number of the master communicator, or 3 in general. And if we add it together with another 3, then that means collaboration, cooperation, duality. You need to exchange information with a large number of people. You need to train your mind. You might need to read a lot in this period. Some of you might be overwhelmed with the amount of ideas you have, and you feel like you don't have space and time throughout the day to actually implement those ideas. Some of you are bursting with creativity. You want to try painting. You want to try collaging. You want to try bike riding. You want to work on your body, on your teeth, on your skin. You want to I don't know, clean your closet, clean your house, move, relocate, make big money moves. You're very, very inspired at the moment. So I would say temper your mind and learn how to meditate, as well as proceeding with your everyday logical analysis and calculations and whatever planning you need to do. So marrying your intelligence, your logical thinking skill, with your intuition and your meditation and your capacity to find inner peace at regular intervals throughout the day is super, super important during this period. And I feel like this came out of me in a flood, which I think is really important for some of you to hear this. So love, you are love. If you are feeling neglected, alone, with no friends at the moment, my dear, it's only because you need to focus on yourself. You've been neglecting numero uno in your life. Focus on yourself. You will find that it's very hard for you to love yourself, to focus on yourself, to stick to promises that you kept for yourself. So in this period, you're just meant to work through those blockages, work through those impediments. You can do it. You have the strength. And Spirit right now is being very sweet with you, and it's been removing your friends so that you can come back to the inner temple, your inner garden, and tend to it. Remove the weeds, plant fresh seeds, water it, and allow it to grow. So rest, my dear. You are love. You will have new friends. You are not going insane. And if you are feeling distance, an emotional distance between you and a best friend, it was all meant to be. You're going to come back in divine timing, okay? That's what I had for you, group 3. Group 3, the energy of group 3 is already smashing in. Group 2, that's what I had for you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you in my next reading, and I generally hope that the energy is going to be a bit more, stable and grounded in my next one. Have a great rest of the day. Bye. Hey, group 3. So this is for those of you that were drawn to the Lime Cheetah. So welcome to your reading. We're going to try to find out what's up with your friendship. The energy is really strange tonight, I have to say. I'm filming this while Jupiter is in perfect conjunction with Pluto and Capricorn. And I have the feeling like, whew, this is the kind of energy that you need to work at it to push it forward. I had some aloe vera juice right before starting your reading, which kind of makes me think that there needs to be some healing in your personal relationships, especially in your friendships. And then I was also reminded of some tarot readers I was listening to last year, and I started looking them up, but I couldn't find them online, which gives me an indication that you don't know where your friends are at. You haven't heard a long time from them. You might be seeking to find out details about them, but maybe they deleted their Facebook accounts or their Instagram accounts or their YouTube pages. I have a feeling that there is a lot of uncertainty, chaos, unknown, and healing that is happening in your personal friendship. So this can be applied to a variety of friendships that you have in your life, because I have the feeling for some of you it could be more than just one connection that kind of is bizarre at the moment. But for others of you, it's a specific connection. It's with a long-term friend or a best friend. So these are the cards that I pre-shuffled for you. Let me see them. Let them express themselves. Let me see them first. And then, just so I can get an overview of this energy. And then I will show them to you one by one and begin interpreting them. Almost all of the cards came up in the reversed, so massively blocked energy. You guys have been having so many karmic tests in your friendships. I'm getting a sense that some of you could have a very strong Uranus in the 7th house transit if you are a Libra or a Scorpio ascendant. Also, I feel that some of you could be Sagittarians. You could have a stellium in Sagittarius, Pluto in Sagittarius, Saturn there, or Sagittarius ascendants, moons, suns, Venuses, yeah, Jupiters, yeah, but not so much Jupiters, because you know the great benefic has a sort of like, well, beautiful energy, lucky energy. It's very hard to block Jupiter, you know. I'm just going to unblock all this energy. I'm going to do some work here, some groundwork. So let's flip, 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 flip. Let me show you the cards now that they have been unblocked. So we have the 10 of Cups, emotional satisfaction, happiness, bliss. But I think that this is happening as you're running away from your friendships. Some of you could have been part of some groups that were toxic. Maybe you were working through some sort of issues and you met these people at a certain point in your life when you were vulnerable. Some of you it could have been a counseling group, a drama group. It could have been Alcoholics Anonymous for some of you that were struggling with addictions. Maybe you met someplace in some sort of contained environment. Maybe you had to do some community work. I hear that some of these might have been some co-workers that you worked on a project that was kept quite hush-hush. I think this is ridiculously specific for some of you out there. Co-workers. But I have the feeling that either they turned against you or they excluded you from the group, or I'm hearing somebody suffered an injury and you had to be removed from that group. And now when you're trying to go back, you find it very hard to connect to everyone because they're like missing links and pieces. And as I said, you can't connect to their accounts, online accounts. Social media might be the only way through which you can come into contact with them, but you can't because they are no longer there. So I have the feeling she's writing such a cute card, right? She's writing this little elephant and she's feeling really good, really exuberant, right? Running away from a crumbling castle in the background. The elephant I see as the representation of Lord Ganesh, the destroyer of obstacles. And you see how everything is crumbling behind her. So I have the feeling that you need to let go of this group of people. New, better things are coming your way, things that will make you feel super happy. But it's a weird transitional phase at the moment where you might find yourself isolated or in a lockdown situation, or you're feeling quite alone and you want to go back to what you had, what you knew. But the energy is kind of like, no. No longer do you need that friendship. You need to move in a better direction. I'm getting a very strong sense collectively. Potentially it could be because of the South Node and Sagittarius energy that I mentioned at the beginning of the clip in the intro, that we need to let go of a lot of friendships, and a lot of us suffer because of that. It's hard to let go of people, yes, but part of the process of growing up is figuring out whom you should keep in your life and whom should you let go. I'm kind of I wanted to say the word hush. Again, there could be secrets. Some of you could be having Pluto in the 11th. Yeah, I think that there was a lot of gossip, there was a lot of secrecy. You might have known a lot of juicy details about these people that you were hanging out with, because you were kind of the person that they kind of came to talk to about behind each other's backs. They might have complained. I have a feeling you're a very good listener. So that's why people come to you and they kind of tend to unload their complaints about other members that you work in the same group with, and they unload them onto you because you listen and you don't intervene too much. You just carefully take everything in. You're very good at controlling your emotions as well, so you don't get overly dramatic when you hear something really, really juicy. But I also feel that you have the power to completely destroy the whole group if you were to unveil what you've heard, what other people confess to you in secrecy. Definitely Pluto in the 11th house, or Pluto in the 9th as well, kind of energy. Something much better is coming your way. That's overall the energy. And we have here a 5 as well, right? And a rat. So the ratty kind of situations are being removed. The 5 is massive change. So you're undergoing change at the moment, quite important change in your foundation. Your foundations are being re-established, and this means that a group of people is taken away so that you can make space for a fresh new group of people to enter your life. You need this. This is important for your soul growth. We have here 7 of emotions. This is the 7 of cups. So you're looking back on a lot of relationships, you're examining what has happened, but be careful not to fall into unnecessary idealizations of the people in your past, because you know how other people talk about their friends when their friends are not around shows the quality of human being that they are. If, for example, you are part of a group of 3 friends and one of them comes to you and badmouths another one while the other person is not present, don't trust that person. Don't consider that person a close friend. That person would do the same about you to the other person or to somebody else, a complete stranger. So be mindful of the people, of the company you entertain, of what you consider a close friend. I feel like at the moment you're reevaluating what you think about friendship. What is the role of friends in your life? Why do you need friends? What kind of friends do you like to keep around? Is it just people that help you with everyday things, like help you move things around or lend you money from time to time? Or you can organize study moments with them, study sessions or short trips around the neighborhood? Or is it people that you just meet from time to time in a bar, in a restaurant, or in a diner or a cafe and you have a conversation with? Or is it genuinely people that you can call at 3 a.m. in the morning when you have a panic attack and they rush to your house with crackers and, you know, a steady shoulder that you can cry on? Think about the differences between those 3 different types of friendships. I think this is a period of really important self-analysis where you are bursting through any illusions you might have had. Maybe you're having Neptune in the 3rd house. You don't see your friends very clearly. You don't see your local environment and your immediate reality very clearly. Or you tend to see it in the best possible light, and actually in reality you get disappointed because people don't live up to such high expectations. But you're waking up to this truth. You're learning to handle truth, and you're changing for the better. You're going with the flow, as I can see it here, and see all this massive light, almost like a pyramid of light. You're protected in this process. Lord Ganesh has your back, destroying all obstacles, removing what is no longer necessary on your life path. So don't feel guilty or sad for those friends that left your life. They were not supposed to walk along with you on the life path. They appeared in your life. They were important for that process that you are going through. And now you've switched gears because that process has completed and moving into something else. So embrace the energy of change, as tricky and chaotic as it might feel. So those were your tarot cards. Now I want to get into inspiring oracle messages for you. So we have here flocks, unanimity and harmony. And the quote is, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." It can be herself as well. This is a quote by Marcus Aurelius, and he was the ruler of the Roman world and potentially considered that, the universe revolves around the man. But in this case, you can apply it to yourself. If you're a woman, take it as it resonates. There might have been some gender issues, maybe some domination and power dynamics between you guys. Maybe you're part of the group where the men tended to be more traditional and you didn't enjoy that. Or there were frequent arguments as to who can take a leadership role. I think that my comment on Marcus Aurelius and gender issues is significant, is striking a chord with some of you that have chosen this group. There's a lot of dark blue and purple, which are the colors of melancholy, depression even. You could have had some friends that helped you through periods of depression, but now I'm hearing in some of you guys, in some cases, you actually lost friends to suicide, or in which case I'm really, really sorry. So that is for a very specific subgroup from group number 3. And you're trying to understand how to move forward with peace and harmony. I got a little bit emotional there, guys, sorry. So I think it's really important to understand that you can move on with a lot of deep inner peace, even if you don't have your friends by your side at the moment, even if you had to lose them for whatever reason. So some of you, those of you that are still looking for your friends, you can let go of the search. Those of you who have lost friends to, transitional moments, you can forgive them and you can forgive yourselves, right? There was nothing you could do. What happened, happened. And to a large extent, if it was a case of suicide, it was that person's free will and we need to respect that. Oof, that got heavy really quick. Okay, so let's see. Advice from the Divine Feather Oracle. We have the crane, and this is a very joyful news. So much as I said at the beginning that you're moving towards something so positive, do not give up. Do not give up right before you reach the finishing line. There's light at the end of that dark tunnel through which you've been walking for a while. So the crane, you will soon enter into a beneficial partnership. Luck and longevity bless this union. Some of you are about to fall in love. Some of you are starting a new job or a new project, and you're going to have a really good boss, like a mentor. They'll take the role of a father or mother figure for you. They will fill that emotional hole that you might feel in your soul. That's very similar to group 2. I think I gave the same advice to group 2. So if you're feeling a little bit like there's something missing now that your friends are not there, or that specific friend that you lost is no longer there, don't worry, it will be replaced by something else. The crane also speaks of fertility. Maybe you might get pregnant very soon, and now your child is going to need your focus, and in some cases it's really beautiful, but in time your child will become your best friend. So it's really it's hopeful, but on a completely different level than you might have expected. The ever-unfolding rose. So see, the messages, the energy keeps growing and growing towards something more positive, and I'm really happy to be delivering this message to you, because as I said, it got a bit dark for a second there. cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So if you've suffered a lot, if you've lost a lot, and if you generally suffered, because I think for some of you, your friends were like your family. You might have had some problems with your family of origin and you took refuge in this group of people. But now that that group of people is no longer there, or that specific best friend is no longer there, you're wondering, well, how can I move on? And that's why I'm letting you know. I can feel your, what's the point anymore? I'm so tired, you know? I can feel that sadness, but there will be a lot of astrological transits changing signs in less than 2 weeks. You could have been through a very, very difficult Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn transit. There will be more air coming into the cosmic sphere very soon. You will be able to breathe a big, gorgeous, yummy sigh of relief. Hold on just a little while. Rest. Take it easy. Focus on self-care. Focus on your finances or creative projects as you wait for these 2 weeks to fly by and the energy to shift. I promise you that something much better is coming your way. And whatever happened, it was happening for you, not against you. I keep repeating this on my channel. I remember what what a soothing sense of peace I felt when I discovered this realization that things are happening for me, not against me. It was meant to open your heart. It was meant to get you in touch with your feelings, because you might have been a bit too closed off, a bit too full of armor. And now that your armor is broken, you can feel, you can nurture, you can take care of this next relationship, this lucky relationship that is coming into your life, and you're running towards your happiness at the moment. Under the protection of Lord Ganesh, one of the luckiest Hindu deities. We also have here the Muses, inspiration, and she also has this beautiful bright pink hair, which speaks to me of romance. I think a lot of you lost friends and you're gonna gain a lover. You're gonna gain a life partner that might get you pregnant. You might need to settle down very soon. There is the flower, right? All of these speak to me of fertility, of all of your goals and deep desires and dreams coming to fulfillment. But I think that a lot of you were too attached to the independence that your group of friends was giving you, but now you lost your group of friends because the universe cleared everything so that you can focus on building a romantic union with your counterpart, starting a family, settling down. And I feel that you will encounter a different group of friends through the act of taking care of your child and maybe going to nursery, and you might meet other parents there, or through having other friends like other couples, or through your partner. Your partner might introduce you to new people. You might even get a new job, or you might change your profession. You might work from home, and some of your clients might become your friends, So I see a completely different universe coming in for you. And this is why you had to suffer these changes in your group of friends. I feel for a lot of you this is about a group of friends, and for some of you this is about a best friend that you lost to circumstances that you could not control. Addiction, suicide, even potentially the current pandemic. But healing is coming in, yeah? It was so fortunate that I mentioned that thing about drinking aloe vera, because it fits so well. It's like the soothing freshness, the calm, the sense of verdancy that aloe vera represents. Final card that I have for you, group 3, is the inner voice. It's like, see these palms open and the bright light coming in. I feel like you are just... I'm not even gonna say you will be blessed. You are already blessed by life. And it's only going to start increasing. There's a lot of light coming into your life. You'll start to feel more peace. You will not want to rush into things anymore. You will find happiness in the little things. You will start to become more sensitive to small nuances in personal relationships. You'll start to ask other people more about their own well-being, as you take braver steps into telling people what it is you're really feeling and how it is you've been thinking about the world. And as you say these things, as you speak by using your deep inner soul voice, people will fall in love with you. They're gonna want to help you. I'm getting a little bit choked up because I can understand how emotional this whole process has been for you guys. But don't worry, you don't have to stick it up alone for too long. You are being blessed at the moment, showered in this kind of rain of white and golden droplets. You're coming out of your dark night of the soul, and it's sad not to see your usual friends there to cheer you on. But this is only because you're going to have a completely new group of people in your life, and this is going to happen through you being blessed with romantic love. It's coming so soon. I think Christmas, from the moment when you watch this reading, because my readings are timeless, it's going to be a really unique and life-changing experience where you just start believing again in the fact that God is real and God exists and God is helping you and loving you. Wow. Wow. Okay, group 3. I feel like I was changed by your reading. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being part of my crew. I'll come back at you guys with another pick a card reading. And in the meantime, please take really good care of yourself. You matter, you are worth it, and you are protected. Bye.